Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. I don't want to retread ground that we've already covered, although I do find it somewhat hypocritical to be Monday morning quarterbacking our situation in Ukraine when, in fact, a majority of our colleagues on the other side delayed for 5 months that assistance that Ukraine could have used at the time that would have, I think, prevented the current offensive that we see Russia taking place. Since you just came back from Ukraine, I'd like you to highlight in the next 6 months, I mean, I think we've done, to be fair, micromanaging in the West Wing that was unnecessary. I mean, we've pushed a lot of things, whether they be ATACMS, whether they be the F-16s, only to see the administration finally agree, but months later. We can't continue that. What are your assessment on what we're going to be able to do in the next 6 months in terms of the ATACMS, in terms of the F-16 pilots, the most recent request today by President Zelensky, to move this in an expeditious way as possible?
Well, thank you. And look, all along, we've been working to make sure that the Ukrainians have what they need when they need it and can use it effectively. And as I've mentioned before, the challenge with any given weapon system is making sure not only that they get the weapon, but that they have people trained and know how to use it, that they have the ability to maintain it.
These Ukrainians are the MacGyvers of the, let's be clear about that.
They are, but we want to make sure that they have the ability to do that, including the training is also very critical. But the ATACMS are there, and they are having an effect, and will continue as we go along.
And in terms of the self-defense with Kharkiv right now, I mean, it is nonsense to believe that they're attacking from Russian soil and that we can't prevent that in terms of a defensive means to protect these people. Putin's a war criminal. He's bombing hospitals and kidnapping children and schools. We've got to allow the Ukrainians to defend themselves.
And again, Ukraine is going to make the decisions it needs to make to defend itself. I want to make sure that they have everything they need to do that.
And the self-defense protection for cities like Kharkiv and Odessa and us, there are batteries of Iron Domes out there that have been identified. Are we doing everything we can to provide them with that support?
I have been looking under every couch, every cushion, to help find Patriot systems, other air defense systems, to get to the Ukrainians. And we continue to do that every day. We need more air defenses. There's no question about that.
Well, I want to continue to work with you on that effort. Let me move to another part of the neighborhood, Armenia. What Azerbaijan has done is unconscionable with the natives of Nagorno-Karabakh. We've increased the humanitarian assistance from 15 million to 65 million. But I think that Armenia's requested an additional $200 million in assistance. And the Congressional Armenian Caucus has sent you a letter to that effect. Where are we on that?
So we're looking at a series of requests from Armenia to see what we can do to strengthen even more our support and cooperation with Armenia. I met with Prime Minister Pashinyan just a few weeks ago in Brussels with the head of the European Commission, Ursula von der Leyen, precisely to look at what more we and the EU can do to support Armenia. And we'll be moving forward, I think, on a number of different areas. Prime Minister Pashinyan's done an extraordinary job leading his country in very, very difficult times. We want to make sure that we're getting people the support they need, including those who have left Nagorno-Karabakh.
But I don't think we've used our leverage with Azerbaijan. I mean, this defense agreement that we have with them, when they have violated so many of their agreements with Armenia, I think it's reprehensible what Azerbaijan has done.
I think the best thing that can happen is they have made progress, Armenia and Azerbaijan, on a peace agreement. And if that agreement can be reached, I think that's the thing that stands both Armenia, Azerbaijan, and the whole region in the best stead. So
Mr. Secretary, you and I guess, differ on this. I don't trust Azerbaijan.
Well, always, as someone once said, trust but verify.
Well, I agree. Let me just close. I think that in terms of America's challenges that we face in the world, this is a seminal moment that we're living in world history. Has been for the last several years. And the decisions that we make today, historians will look back 20 years from now. Hopefully we make more good decisions than poor decisions. What are your priorities in terms of the decisions we're making in the next 6 months to make sure that we make more good ones than poor ones during this seminal moment with the challenges of Russia and China and this difficult world we're living in?
We want to make sure, and our budget reflects this, that we can continue what's been very successful in terms of dealing with the challenges posed by China, and that is making the necessary investments in ourselves, aligning even more closely with our allies and partners, because the combined weight that we bring to dealing with challenges posed by China when we're together is much greater than any one of us doing alone. We've had real success with that. We need to continue doing that. We need to continue the support for Ukraine so that it can deal effectively with the aggression coming from Russia, as well as help set Ukraine up for success, long-term success. To win. And win also means having a successful country, one that is militarily, economically, and democratically strong, and that can resist further aggression.
And I might add, we need to work together in a bipartisan fashion.
We would welcome that, as always.
Thank you.